Greetings, peers and queers. Welcome back to another episode of Monday through Friday. My name is JC, and if you had asked me back in late 2024 what was on my 2005 bingo card, this would not be one of those things. So, without getting too much into it, let's just say that every single day something baffling happens with this whole political soap opera. Folks that I didn't think were going to be allies, and I'm using that term as loosely as I can right now. There's two stories that I want to cover here today. Number one is reports that came out of the White House that they were thinking about removing the right to bear firearms from trans people. Let me rephrase that. They wanted to disarm trans women in particular. Went so far as to use a slur, and we're talking about disarming us, saying that we posed a risk to society when the statistics say otherwise.
Transgender people are usually 4 times more likely to be victims of crimes rather than perpetrators of crimes. And the people who have committed mass shootings have been overwhelmingly heterosexual men who are called cisgender, but let's just say heterosexual men. So to say that you're going to, kind of go after transgender people, frankly, I just think this is an attempt to create a narrative. How this has something to do with the culture wars, other than the fact that we don't have gun laws that keep guns out of the hands of people who are dangerous.
Again, we're talking about banning trans people from owning guns, which is insane, obviously, because there's no indicator at all that anyone who falls into that category is more likely to carry out a mass shooting. So, that's just an obvious thing to say. But in general, mass shootings have been carried out by way more white supremacists, for example, avowed white supremacists, than trans people. No one was ever talking about banning white supremacists from owning firearms. And that means like Dylan Roof, who carried out the Emmanuel shooting in Charleston back in 2015, the Walmart shooting in El Paso, the Buffalo shooting at the supermarket. I could go on and on and on here. And the common thread throughout all of those is an avowed white supremacy.
Let's just say that we're going off logic here. Even if we were to look at it as just, well, there has been a rather large string of mass pew-pews going on in the past couple of years. Obviously, trans people are nowhere near the top of the list for demographics that go on these mass pew-pew sprees. I started seeing this message pop up on my Facebook, and I'm at work, and I'm having a crappy day because I know that this is like 2 or 3 steps away from get on the train. It's time for people like you to go to the camps. Disarming a particular portion of the society is usually one of the prerequisites to eradicating that portion of society, rounding them up. So I'm like, great. We got here a lot sooner than I thought we were going to get here. And I'm having a bad day at work because I know this news, but I still have to put on a happy face and go about my job and take care of tasks. And I'm upset about it. It's in the back of my mind. It's weighing on me. It's making me anxious and angry, just like I imagine is the same for a lot of us out there. Doesn't matter what's going on with you personally or a specific minority that you belong to. When it's not affecting the other people around you, they tend to not empathize. And especially if you are of the working class, which I feel like most of you are, society expects us to keep operating even when there's pressures like this. Keep working, keep going. So I was doing that, and then a strange gift happened towards the end of my shift. The National Rifle Association came out and said, "Nuh-uh, you're not taking gun rights away from anybody." This was the message that they had left. The NRA will not support this. They do not wish to see any portion of society being stripped of their right to bear arms. On one hand, I'm like, yay, thank you, NRA, for like shouting out and like backing us, because like you do hold a lot of sway in our government. You're one of the main groups that holds a lot of sway in our government. It's like, okay, cool. This means that policy probably won't go through. So thank you for that, NRA. But on the other side of things, you guys were awfully quiet during the last couple of school. You guys were awfully quiet during the last couple of mass bang-bangs. And though I appreciate your support for my community, you're still a bit of a problem. A big problem. So I'm telling you, I appreciate the assist on this one, personally. But also, you need to do better about safety of kids and innocents in this country. Even if it means we need to regulate gun control. Regulators! Mount up! So it's a mixed bag there. The other one that I wanted to get to, because we're taking forever to release the Epstein list, and there's a lot of distractions that are popping up all of a sudden around that. Recently, a group of some of the survivors, girls who are now women that interacted with Epstein, decided to band together, and they're like, you know what? If you're not going to release the list, we know who's on the list. We were there. So they got together and they're like, we're going to put together our own list. And we are going to tell the public what went down. And what was another thing that wasn't on my bingo card on this was, yes, they had some politicians behind them. The majority were Democrats, although Democrats, you need to do better too. You need to do better. But there was a lot of Democratic politicians behind the survivors. There was also a few Republicans. And they backed up the survivors too. And chief among them, the one that I was not anticipating, was...
I'm not afraid to name names. And so if they want to give me a list, I will walk in that Capitol on the House floor and I'll say every damn name that abused these women. I can do that for them. And I'd be proud to do it. This is not about politics. Those of us in Congress that are crossing our political party lines and doing the right thing and trying to do it together.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. So, unless you're like me and you're kind of familiar with the situation already, Marjorie Taylor Greene has been kind of on the wrong side of a lot of different issues. She's one of the mouthpieces, one of the talking heads for the Republican Party, specifically for the Trump Party. But lately she's been detracting on at least one issue.
A hostile act. I put my life and my fortune on the line fighting to get that man elected. Well, that coward attacked me and attacked anybody else and called it a hostile act. The hostile act was Jeffrey Epstein raping 14-year-old girls. That was the hostile act, and it's not a hoax. Every Republican should be able to sign on to this.
Lately, Marjorie Taylor Greene has been like, you know what? Part of the reason that I got on board with this was that you were going to promise to release the Epstein files. Why are you not doing that? And that one issue is what's causing her to flip and show support against what's going on over here and start being like, you know what? No, we need to see this. Damn the repercussions. Like, we deserve to see this. More so, something needs to be done about these people that were involved. Which, yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene has done some very bad things and has had some really bad takes on issues that are close to me. However, if she's on the right side of this, of this issue, I am perfectly fine with her joining us and getting this matter seen through. In this one, I'm going to give Marjorie Taylor the win. It's good to see that even there's a line there. I just wish that we agreed on more things, but we're happy to have you in this argument. It needs to happen regardless. We need to call powerful men preying on kids, preying on women, preying on the system. We need to call that stuff out wherever we see it for those victims so that they can get closure, because it's the right thing to do, and because this is going to help to not let that happen as easily in the future. So yeah, there it is. The NRA and Marjorie Taylor Greene helping out where they can. Even if they have alternative motives for why they're doing this, or this is just a little substack that they're like, no, I believe in this for everyone. This amount of fairness for everyone. But they're wrong on a lot of different issues. Boom, boom. I'm kind of glad. So, like, consider that good news. Moving on. I wanted to try something new, a new little thing at the end of these videos, where I will post the best comment that I had gotten on one of my recent videos, and we will interact with it. All right, so the request was to do an impersonation of DMX. That would be Darkman X, Earl Simmons, the dog,
This is life. This is life.
talking to the pink bunny that's in the background. We're going to try to do that.
Mr. Bunny Rabbit, please explain to me why it hurts that I lost so many people in my life. I thought that I'd see to the dirt. They couldn't understand that I was living a lie. And when I decided to be myself, they told me goodbye. Folks that I knew then really couldn't see that this wasn't about them. This was about me being me. Why must Earl chase the cat? Why must Earl chase the cat? Hey, hey.
My neighbors gotta be loving me right now. So if you would like to leave a comment down below, maybe it can be featured on my next video, and maybe you'll get a shout out. Thank you all very much for watching. Until next week, here's what I would like for you to do. Find a stranger's phone, or a friend's phone, or a loved one's, and when they're not looking, grab that sucker. Go into youtube.com and subscribe to this channel Monday through Friday. That way it helps me with my numbers, and I then become your friend's problem. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you have an awesome week. Until next time, I don't know how all this happened, but yeah, keep staying strong however you gotta do that, even if it means quieting down, relaxing, whatever it takes to stay strong. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna survive. Love you.